Hello and welcome. It is the 31st day of October 2019, and I'm going to talk about first off some selections and a little bit of NFL play calling strategy because I find it interesting. The New England Baltimore matchup, just really two plays, one play offensively and defensively that I think can work against them. That my favorite plays. Anyway, that's when I was playing Madden. So anyway, for tonight, George Kittle over 5.5 catches minus 113. I think that number should be 6.5. And right now, it's minus 129 for the over. I think that's a decent size price still. Obviously, not as good as minus 113. And for tonight, I also like the Nashville Predators to beat the Calgary Flames, laying a goal and a half plus 166. Nashville has managed to win 7 of their first 11 games of the season by 2 goals or more. And they're playing really well over the last several 3-4 games, and they're coming in the game with rest against another rested Calgary team who are just playing terrible. So I'm gonna that plus 166. That's just too high of a price for me not to take. And this weekend, I'm going to take the home, I guess, many miles away from Green Bay Packers in Los Angeles against the LA Chargers. And that stadium's going to be almost the color of this, the green and yellow, because there's going to be a whole bunch of Packers fans. That number is just way off. That number probably should be 7. So at that, I got to play it. It's just too much of a price. I'm also kind of eyeing the whole New England. It's down to 3 points. There's no way I'm playing Baltimore. Not even maybe. But if this is now -3, like minus, well, I'm if minus 112 or minus 115 for New England. If it gets to like minus 105 price at -3 for the Patriots, I probably would. But let's talk about play calling strategy. First, my favorite offensive play, which I think would work well against the New England defense. And in this, it's a single back big represents 2 tight ends. And when I was playing Madden, one of my favorite strategies in team development was if I had a good veteran left tackle and I was able to find a good young buck in the draft somewhere, then what I would often do is I would put my young left tackle in the position here, and then this would be my stud left tackle. So I'd have basically 2 left tackles, which meant when I was doing the running game on this side, it was so easy when I had that set up. It was, and I thought, you know what? I mean, you can put 6 offensive line at midfield or at your own 20. You don't have to do it at the goal line. So I had a lot of fun using that strategy. And sometimes I had like Trent Williams for Cleveland when I did a franchise once. So I'd have a few routes where I do like stuff like this, and I more normally did this on like 3rd and 1 or goal line situations, and he made a few nice catches that way. But so that's how the setup is. Now, one of my favorite plays is, as I mentioned, that run. If I have it set this way, then I'm going to do some running on this side of the field, and I want to establish that. But every time I run, I want the quarterback to do things like just pretend to do a bootleg around like that. And what I would do is, and the quarterback for sure would be doing, is eyeing seeing how well would a bootleg run later in the game. And how the bootleg would be is a quarterback would fake to the running back who would run to the left hand side. Offensive line would have to ship to the left hand side. They have to sell it. And then the quarterback, hanging on the ball, would do one of these types of circly, scrambly plays. And when you talk about run pass option, that's exactly what it is, a total amount of things of what the player could do. So this receiver, I'm probably going to want to have run about 10, 12 yards and then start going that way. This this is all blocking on the right hand side. So I'm going to want to ensure that this is the play for the running back because he's going to be selling the run, just turning in here. He's an all else fail situation, but if you see that he can catch the ball maybe here, somewhere in this area here, and get a bunch of yards after the catch, maybe that's a play you're just going to take because it's so awesome. This tight end in here has to sell the run big time, but then find a way to curve into here. He's a big situational guy because if he's only covered with one defensive player, it's going to force the defensive player either to stay with him, which will give the quarterback time to do what he needs to do where he can't throw the tight end, or if he rushes the quarterback, then I'll just be able to throw the tight end could just go further where I can throw the ball above the head of the defensive back and to a spot where the tight end can catch it. So the tight end, I would mainly have to do a play like again something like in here. This receiver is just a deep sprint. Just keep on going as far as you can. And with the quarterback scrambling out this way, and I wish those lines didn't do that, it means my options are, well, my first look options is the tight end, the run. I can just maybe run the ball 7, 8, 10 yards, maybe get an easy first down. Does this guy get open? Can I throw the deep ball here? Is this guy going to be able to make a play? Because he's him and the running back. These are the two, if things go late, guys. They're never going to catch the ball early in the play. But if they go in there, they can make a big play. And if things just fall apart, the quarterback can just throw the ball out of bounds and take an incomplete pass. So next up, I'm going to talk about my favorite. I'm not going to. I don't have a favorite defensive play, but my favorite play if I was forcing a quarterback to throw the ball deep. And we'll assume this is a set they're in. They have three wide receivers, a tight end, a running back with their offensive line, and Tom Brady. Now I run a 3-4, and I got one too many players on the field here, so I'd have to eliminate one. If they only had two wide receivers, then I wouldn't have this third cornerback. But if I want to have a third corner, then I'd almost have to eliminate one of these players, like one of the middle linebackers. So we'll just eliminate it this way. So with a 3-3, I'd have a 3-3-5 run here. So as I would play this out, I would be looking at playing man-to-man in here, man-to-man with here, and I think you'd have to press them really. You'd have to not give them their quick little spaces. Don't give Brady any of these easy passes at all. At least not on 1st and 10. Maybe on 3rd and 10 you might, but I mean each play down distance and personnel makes each play totally unique and different. I like a four-man rush. So the three guys in here, not here, here, they're all rushing. And let's just assume that I'm going to rush the right outside linebacker along the play. Either way, you could say, well, why not the left? Well, actually, I'm going to have to mix it up. I'm going to have to have both of them at different times. But if, say, this play here, and I try to do it without having that happen, there we go. I'm going to want to have guys playing zone. So this safety, it'll be a deeper. This safety's going to play zone coverage, shaded a little bit here to the left-hand side, or towards the Sanu and Dorsett side. For Dorsett is the only real guy I'm really concerned about on the deep ball. The strong safety, I would probably be putting into a zone coverage somewhere around in here, which would be between 5 to 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. So where he would line up, whether he lines up here, whether he lines up here, that could be different at different times, but this is where the zone coverage is going to play out. And this means if Edelman does beat the corner, it's going to be a difficult task for this defender to have to come back and be able to cover Edelman, and even the free safety who's shaded more towards this side to be able to get in there. But again, I'm forcing Brady to beat me with the deep ball. So now we have two linebackers, which I probably put a zone read in here for this guy. And then the right outside linebacker is going to probably be zoning in here. So this would be it is a cover. It's a man zone, a cover zone, whatever they call it. I know it's a name for it. It's a combination of both a cover and a man-to-man defense, because the corners will be playing man, and everybody else is either playing in a zone or rushing the quarterback. Now we do have two guys that are uncovered. We have the tight end and we have the running back. Now, if James White is the running back, this is somebody you have to take very, very serious amongst it. And that means amongst the linebackers, they almost have to mix up a little. Like maybe one of them might have to play man to man with him. But that's just what you have to. With Sony Michelle, it's kind of obvious if Sony Michelle is running they're going to be in there. They're going to run the ball probably. So you're going to want to play to stop the run really aggressively because a lot of these linebackers are going to be they won't be backed up as much. Maybe the middle linebacker will be a little bit behind the defensive players. But these guys will be a lot of them will be close to the line of scrimmage. Even though I'm running three guys at the line, three defensive guys, oftentimes there'll be four or five guys at the line because the linebackers will do just that and playing that type of role. And then force Brady to try to find a way to, if he wants to play the short game, there's going to be four rushers, one guy playing deep, which leaves six guys playing man to man on three and three guys playing zone. That's very difficult to be able to execute it. Because if Edelman's, again, like I state, able to beat this corner, if Dorsett's able to run the deep route, that means he's going to obviously get by the defensive back here. He's going to get by this zone coverage, and it's going to be really one-on-one with him and him. And this is where you can allow 50, 60-yard touchdowns. But I had a lot of success in doing plays like this when I actually did this in Madden and I ran plays to do this, and it makes it difficult to get your pass completions will be lower. You're definitely the interceptions that can be thrown in these 7 yard passes are going to increase, and a lot of tackles. There's just you'll throw to James White and he'll get a 4 yard, 2 yard catch because we got guys ready to make the play because all of our players are playing close to the line, which is also going to help the running game, I think, as well. Even though it's not something I'm not respecting too much is the Patriots' run offense. So that's why I would really play the short passing game very aggressively. And then sometimes, if you're going to do things like mix in, say, a 5 man rush, say I wanted to rush this guy and this guy, then I might even have to do things like have the strong safety play man to Edelman. This guy plays zone, and I have to play man to man here as well. And then if I was rushing, say if I was rushing again, these two guys in here, then this offensive lineman is going to come in and play a zone over there as well. Or I would. No, that's probably what I do. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye bye.